All right, on the Flat Rate Master, well, let's talk the tools you need to work on. Hondas and Acuras. I've done these videos before for other makes that are much more intensive in tools required. Hondas and Acuras are a lot less so. Let's talk the basics. You're gonna need, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17, 18, I think 18, 19, 21, 22, 24, 28 axle socket. If you work on the older stuff, you need a 27 and a 32-inch wrench. I think two 27s because the lines are the same size. Basic stuff. You need an impact screwdriver or a impact screwdriver for rotor screws. I use the impact screwdriver from Vessel. Love that thing, love it. I've converted so many people to that thing. It's awesome. It's an impacting JIS standard screwdriver. It's an impacting screwdriver. Almost never have any trouble getting screws out of rotors. Anyway, I digress. That's the big thing. There's not many hand tools you're gonna need. Get all the flavors of all of them because you'll need them at one point or another. There are some cases where you will need like flare nut wrenches and crow's feet flare nuts for power steering lines, stuff like that. But tool-wise, as far as standard tools, pretty basic. Cooling system adapter, you're pretty much gonna need this one. FZ138. Ossenmacher part number. It comes in every standard pressure test kit. If you want to be cheap, you can just buy the pressure tester and the one adapter if all you work on is Hondas and Acuras, because literally that's it. You really don't even need a vacuum filler because, well, they pretty much self-bleed pretty easily. I don't think I've ever had too much trouble bleeding out a cooling system, so a spill-free funnel maybe, though I still vacuum fill them. Engine tools. I don't know of many special engine tools for Hondas. There's some special transmission tools. I haven't run into any engine tools that I've actually required. Their timing systems are pretty easy. There's really not a lot of, special tools. The one exception is you're gonna need valve adjusting tools. This is one of the biggest maintenance items for engines on Hondas is they do not use lash adjusters, they use manual adjusters. So you're gonna need these kind of tools. You can use a 10mm wrench and a flat-bladed screwdriver. This just makes it a lot easier. Part number on this one is a Matco tool. It is MST8895. It's 10mm. I've got a 12mm, I think, on order. Still back ordered, but it's basically a 10mm and a flat-bladed screwdriver in one handle. So you put it on there, you loosen it, you adjust it, you lock it back down. And you're gonna need feeler gauges. You're gonna need really bent feeler gauges. You can either get this one from Matco, or you can go Snap-on, or you can get cheap ones. You don't even really need the handles, you just need the feeler gauges. But it's easier with the handles. The last thing you're really gonna need is something to fill differentials, transfer cases, and the occasional transmission CVT. Sometimes they're easier to fill with a pneumatic or hand pump style transmission filler. That's what I use. I use the OTC one for filling the rear differential. If I do a transfer case service, I'd use that. 9 times out of 10, I fill a transmission with a funnel, but sometimes they're a real nightmare to get a funnel in there, and sometimes it's easier to use my pneumatic, the 3.5 quarts transmission takes when you do a service. They're all drain and fills for the most part. CVTs, I think, might be able to do a pan, but I've always just done drain and fills. They don't have Nissan's problems with CVTs, so, but you should be doing trans services every 30K because, well, Honda's transmissions aren't the best, and use only OE fluid on those, on all the stuff. Don't use generic, probably not gonna end well. But that's kind of it. It's one of the easiest videos of these kinds I've done because, well, there just really isn't a whole lot of special stuff to work on Hondas. They're easy. Money makers. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.